I have been playing chess for more than 5 years, and these are the 7 mistakes I made throughout my journey. The last one is a special one. The first point is leaving hanging pieces. Hanging pieces are nothing but the pieces which are undefended and can be captured by your opponent. In this position, black played knight f4, going for rook takes g2. But white can play queen b8 check, forking the king and the knight, and black will lose the knight. Before moving the piece, you should always look for how can that piece be attacked or captured. Here's another example. In this position, white played queen takes e5, and after black takes the queen, many of you will go for recapturing the queen. But this is not a good move. You don't need to capture the queen right away. Here, as you can see, after the black queen moved, it left the bishop undefended. So before taking the queen, you can play rook takes bishop. And since it is a check, black is forced to respond, and then only you will take the queen. And you will be ahead in material. So whenever your opponent make a move, always look for the weaknesses that have been created by that move. The mistake number 2 is moving without thinking. In this position, black played knight e4, centralizing his knight. Now here many of you will capture this knight by your knight without much thinking. But this is a big mistake. Here white will not capture with the bishop, but instead he will take with the pawn. And as you can see, the pawn is forking the knight and the bishop. And black will be ahead in material. This is one of the most common mistakes made by beginners in the London opening. You should always think before you move. Now here, let me show you that, if I take with the knight, black can recapture with the pawn, and then it will fork my knight and bishop, and I will be behind material and losing the game. The third mistake is trading pieces without any reason. In this position, white trades the knight for the bishop. White's idea was to close the center, but here black can play f5, rip opening the center. Black captures with the knight. Now black can recapture with the bishop, and after that black plays queen to g3. Black takes the queen and white takes back with the knight. And as you can see, the light square for the white pieces is very much weak, and black's light square bishop is so much powerful. So before making a trade, keep these 4 things in mind. Number 1 is don't trade bishop for knight without a good reason. Number 2 is trade weak pieces for opponent's stronger pieces. Number 3 is when you are ahead in material, trade pieces. And number 4 is eliminate a critical defender of opponent's king. If you need a separate video for when to trade a piece, you can comment below. The next mistake is reacting too early. In this position, black played rook f8, going for the b2 pawn. Now here many of you will go ahead and react too quickly and play bishop c1. It is okay, but there is a good move here. In this position, you can play rook takes c6, giving away the b2 pawn. After black takes, you can capture the d6 pawn. And as you can see, white pieces have become more active by giving up the b2 pawn. So always look for opportunities. Do not react suddenly. Mistake number 5. This is very important. Not realizing opponent's idea. In this position, black played queen f4. Now many of you get overexcited here and captures the queen without much thinking. Oh, he hung his queen. Now resign. Don't be like him. Ask yourself, why my opponent moved here? As you can see here, the queen is defending the d1 square, and if queen takes queen, then rook d1 will be a checkmate, as you saw earlier. What if you don't capture the queen? Black will take your queen. So here, the only move that prevents both threats is pawn to h3. Mistake number 6. Learning traps and hoping to win in few moves. It is good to learn chess traps so that you do not fall for one. You might also win some of the games, but nowadays most of the players know what are the best moves if you play a chess trap against them. Let me show you an example here. This is from one of my games where my opponent responded with the black pawn d-mar gambit. I accepted his gambit. He offered me another pawn. I took that as well because I knew what are the best moves against the black pawn d-mar gambit. So after knight takes f3, I responded with the move c5. Now here my opponent took a very big pause of around 3 to 4 minutes because he was not prepared for this variation. After that, he responded with the move d5. On the 16th move, my opponent played queen to d3. This is a blunder because of the move c4. Now it looks like that my knight is hanging. My opponent also thought this and he took it immediately. But there's a move bishop to c4, pinning his queen, and he resigned the game. Now don't say that there is knight takes knight as well. You can see the queen is hanging, can't you? Now my opponent didn't hang his queen but pinned it instead. The final mistake every chess player makes is not analyzing your game. For this, let me talk to you. Let me tell you that if you want to improve at chess, you need to learn from your mistakes and continue practicing. If you don't analyze your mistakes, then you will continue making those same mistakes again and again. Then you will struggle to get improved at chess. I know chess is difficult, but I was also a beginner. I was also making the same mistakes that you are making right now, and I want you to avoid those mistakes. So analyze your games and note down your mistakes and correct them. So just hang in there and keep learning and keep playing chess. Eventually you will improve soon. If you have any problem regarding chess, you can comment below that problem and I will definitely make a video for sure. If you don't want to miss the upcoming videos, then subscribe. I will see you next time.